Konnichiwa. What you just saw was an example of how the people of Japanese culture greet each other. A simple bow shows a sign of respect, and konnichiwa is the Japanese word for hello. After taking time to sit back and research the many things regarding Japanese culture, I can confidently say that I understand how communication works within their culture. Today, I will be giving you a look inside of Japanese culture by reviewing the ways they communicate. Understanding how a different culture like Japanese operates has helped me see the world from a different perspective, and I think this speech will do that for you as well. The Japanese culture has many different ways to communicate, including social networking, verbally, and non-verbally. The first point I will be addressing has to do with the most popular way to communicate from across the world: social networking. Japanese people enjoy using a social networking service, also known as an SNS, to keep up with people and events from other countries. They have advancements in technology that help them see life in more complex ways. In an article written by Phyllis Nagai that covers the topic of social networking in Japan, he gives the example of students studying abroad. He gives surveys and provides feedback on the many ways students use social networking to keep connected with friends and family across the world. Here I made a chart based off the results of the surveys that Nagai gave to students. Most students selected that they agreed social networking benefited in learning about local values, beliefs, and practices. However, there are some things that cannot be communicated through an SNS. Japanese are very serious when it comes to greeting people with a bow, which is not really used through SNS communicating. Next, I will mention how the verbal language of Japanese is communicated within the culture, and how people change the way they communicate according to relationships. In Japanese, there are different forms of speech for different situations, which are referred to as kaigo. This was very interesting for me personally to learn because the different forms of speech are very important in the culture. There are 3 different forms, including sonkeigo, which means respect, kinjogo, which means humble, and tanaigo, which means polite. Although the kaigo concept is important, it is very hard for one to learn if they didn't grow up around Japanese culture. A study done by Miftachul Amri showed how difficult it is to tell each form of kaigo apart. He supplied many examples that showed the easiest ways people mess up when trying to learn the culture. Continuing, I will go over the oldest form of communication in the culture: nonverbal language. Nonverbal language is limited in today's world because there are so many more formal ways to communicate. In a study done by Atsuki Ito, it is shown that many Japanese have admitted to using verbal communication and social networking more often than nonverbal. People who do use nonverbal language to communicate in Japan are looked at differently. This is because those people are most likely more traditional and try to stick to the old ways. Finishing off today's speech, I will go over the main points discussed, as well as state how learning about culture's communications is important. The main points that I mentioned to you today were regarding social networking in Japanese culture, as well as their verbal and nonverbal communication methods. Japanese culture is very important when it comes to peace and doing things the right way. Many Japanese people believe in sacred traditions that are seen as respect to others, and believe that the traditions should be used regularly. Realizing the differences in cultures like Japanese will show you how special the world really is and will give you a whole new perspective on life.